Hey, I'm Clarence, known as High C.
For the dime moves and the lokes, for the 6-4s on spokes, for the OGs that did a dime, came back around on parole, for the homegirls with the scrap game, little homies that gang bang, from Pelican Bay to YA, rearrange your mind frame. Yeah, I know what you've been through, shit you had to go tend to. Your mama gave birth on the turf, I know them killers you kin to. This for the lost generation, broke as hell, man.
A lot of, lifting weights, and I was on swole, they start calling me Big Miz.
Original stutter box. Eastside Fire, who's Pebble on Bishop, Mill City Gangsta Bloods.
Kev Mac video, you know, this is for sure. Kev Mac video, open your soul.
This is from the beginning.
Where was you born and raised at?
Well, I was born in Texas, but I was basically raised in Los Angeles from '68 until
What year was you born?
1957.
57. And what city in Texas did you come from?
Oh, a small town called Bryan, Texas.
Tell me a little bit about where your parents came from.
My parents, I can say for my mother, she was born there in Bryan also herself, but my pops, I'm not quite sure exactly.
Do you know if he's from Texas or somewhere else?
Well, I believe he was somewhere else.
Okay. And what made you guys your parents want to move to California?
My mother passed away back in '67. And so my older brother, rest in peace, he brought us all, the rest of the family members, to California to raise us, Los Angeles, that is.
And where did you land at? What was the first residence you had in LA?
Resident on 97th and Wall Street. 97th and Wall, that's considered the east side of Los Angeles.
Is that where you continued to grow up at?
I continued to grow up there until I was like 15, from the age of, I think, 9 to 15, yeah.
And then where'd you move to?
I moved to, where did I go to from there? I think I went to Compton, on Alundra over there, right across the street from Compton High, matter of fact.
Is that what high school you went to?
Basically, I went to Compton High School for a minute, yeah.
San Pedro, when did you start hanging out over there?
There was a neighborhood right there between Wall and San Pedro.
Okay. And what gangs were over there when you was growing up?
Wasn't no gangs, matter of fact, that we knew of.
Had you heard of the Walnuts?
Yeah, those were my homeboys.
So you was around when they came out?
Yeah, about the same time. We did our thing about the same time.
On Wall Street, between, I say, about 90th down to Colden, maybe across 92nd Street on down to Colden. That was the Walnuts. That was Kenny and Michael Bourgeois.
Me, Kenneth, Michael, the Bushwall, they were my buddies.
The Bushwalls.
Yeah, my buddies.
Now Walnuts and Brims, we're allies.
Was it ever any Brims over there that you know of?
The Brims are not over there in our area. Only Brims I knew of was over there in the '60s then, of Vermont.
Okay, the 6 Deuce Brims and 5'9 Brims?
5'9 Brims,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Terry Godot or the older guys?
Thurston.
Okay.
You well known.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had the gay 90s up and down from about 92nd and Avalon on down to Century in Avalon. That was the gay 90s. We had the McKinley Boys, so it was Norman Young and John Spears. They were over on McKinley. And they called themselves McKinley Boys. It was all Bloods over there. It was where East Coast Crips is right now, all that was Bloodhead.
All right, so it's a little park over there. Green Meadows?
Green Meadows, yeah.
Yeah, you grew up playing?
Yeah, grew up went swimming there, played ball over there.
Okay. What was going on in the Avalon Gardens at that time?
During the Avalon Garden, it wasn't nothing really going on in the Avalon Garden. Not to my knowledge,
Did you know or heard of Jamel Barnes?
Yeah, I know Jamel. I met him over there, but he was on Florence and I want to say close to the Crenshaw area.
Jamel Barnes?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had a little swap meet thing over there, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
All right. So, around what time was you junior high or high school when you guys started to formulate?
Elementary.
Elementary?
Yes, elementary.
So tell me about that.
Well, we formed a little thing. But first we called ourselves the Angels with Wheels back in the days. We all used to ride our bicycles together from 93rd Street School over there. And we all just hung around, you know, did most things what teenagers or youngsters would do, basically, you know, and then it just grew. We heard this when the gangs started coming around, heard them talking about Crips and all that back then. And we decided from there, you know, why not, we just need to might well join this and get our thing together, you know, because saying Crips sound like a popping thing. You know, that's how it was to us, what we felt about it. We were youngsters, very young, wanted something to do, so we tried to find out more about what's going on with that. So.
And so, around what year did you hear the Crips? What grade?
1969, beginning of 70.
Okay, okay. And so at that time, you like 12, 13
I was
years
12,
old.
exactly.
It was 12,
Yep.
okay. And around what year did you guys think the Crips was so impressionable that you wanted to be a part of that?
In the 70s, the very beginning of the 70s, when they first formed, we heard about it.
71, 72?
About 71.
71. Had you heard of like 11-8 Block yet, or what else? No. When you heard of the Crips, what names did you hear? What names stood out?
Names? Only Crips was out there was considered East Side and West Side.
But I mean the members.
The members,
what
well,
names
you know,
was
Raymond was out there, Tookie was out there, Jamal was out there, Ricky Silas, this guy Bushhead. Let me see who else was out there then. They were older cats, a little older than me. And Mac Thomas. Them was some of the some of the fellas that I really kind of was associated with for a minute.
Okay, okay. And you guys come up with a name. What was that name?
9-7 San Pedro Crips, East Side. They consider now as the majority of us, when we started 9-7, the majority of them went to either Main Street, 9-8 to Main Street, Q102, and to Kitchen Crips. 9-7, it was 9-7 Kitchen then.
All right. And when did you first hear these kitchens? About what year?
Kitchen, let me see 70, about 73.
Okay. So you think you guys was out before them, or
Yeah,
you
we
just
was.
heard of them?
We was out before then.
What?
Yeah, the San Pedro, 9-7 San Pedro Crips was one of the first, second things that was out there. We didn't get one that big,
Right.
you know. When we started out, it was about like maybe 11 or 12 of us.
So what happens? Walk me over. Did you guys meet Raymond, or did you?
We met Raymond, you know, this is how we first met Raymond. It's a shoe shine parlor over there, it used to be called Chamberlain. If I'm
Chambers.
Sure. Yeah, Chambers, shoe shine parlor. I met him, we met him right there when we first, we was over there getting some, we used to all have taps on the bottom of our shoes, so we were getting our shoes done. We ran across him because, how did we notice him? A homeboy of mine, I think his name was Burnell, they called him Nose. He had knew Raymond from, I think over there in the 70s somewhere. He used to go cut grass, he used to do their lawn, I believe it was. And so we used to all sit around and start talking, you know, he was telling us about this organization he's trying to create to get together, you know. We need to come on this side and we need to come on and talk, and we all met at Green Meadows Park, as you mentioned. We all met over there, came to a little thing, you know, we're gonna do this little Crip thing, he put that in our ears. So we all went back over to 97th and Wall, and we sit down and we try to figure out a name we were gonna call ourselves then, you know, because, you know, you said, mentioned the Crip thing, you know, Crip, that sounded pretty fair, that's good, we like that. Even though we didn't know the meaning of it then, it still just sounded rung a bell. So we sit around, the 6 or 7 of us, my brother, including Jimmy, Barnell, Runaway, the guy, Kevin Mitchell, rest in peace, you know, he was an older cat too. And we decided, man, we ought to name this something, let's get something nobody else has. Let's call ourselves 9-7 Wall Street Crips at first. Then we said no, because what's called them trying to call themselves Walnuts. It was the same time we all trying to get together and decide a name or something, you know. So we said, well, San Pedro, nobody got that name. Which we had to change that to San Pedro because Raymond had told Barnell, he said, me and Barnell he told Barnell, man, y'all need to move that San Pedro out because that don't sound too good. It's more like a Mexican name, you know? So we had to change that. That's how we ended up breaking up. Everybody started going, like Ducky went to 98 Main Street. They started that over there. My boy Frog and Johnny Ray, they are brothers. They went over there and got together and started some Q102 thing with my brother Jimmy. You know, so all this started spreading out, branching out like that, and that kind of form.
Rest in peace, Frog. He agreed to do an interview with me and died before we got the interview, man.
Is that right?
Yeah, last year.
Oh, man, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know Johnny Ray. I met him and Frog.
Yeah. Oh, man.
All right, so Raymond, it was his idea not to be San Pedro. That actually came from his mouth?
It actually came from his mouth itself.
Okay.
You know, because that sounded more like it was a black thing, really.
What was your relationship with Johnny Ray?
With Johnny Ray, we was like, wow. It was, me and Johnny was on a cool level, you know, we mostly didn't hang out like that together with Johnny Ray. He was mostly hung with my brother. They were more running buddies, you know. Because I was like Frog, he was all going to Compass Junior High during the time. You know, it was mostly me with Frog, excuse me, and Johnny Ray and my brother, they had their own little, Johnny Ray, my brother, and Nose, they was all, they wanted a thing together.
So when y'all formed the San Pedro Boys, was Q102's part of that?
No, that's where Q102 really come like, it almost came from. That was Johnny Ray and them all left from over there where we was at. And we'll start the 102 thing.
Okay, gotcha. So back then, like before, where y'all had the meeting with Raymond at Green Meadows, did y'all start having your own meetings at Green Meadows?
No, we basically had our meeting. They had a field right in the middle of 98 in Wall, between Wall and San Pedro. We had barbecue pits with chairs up on the tree. We meet all the other meeting thing right there.
And that was just your neighborhood or other?
It was just our neighborhood, San Pedro.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Was there ever anything on Town Avenue?
On Town?
No, you don't remember.
No.
I'm just asking. I don't have information. I just know the Q's also claim Town Avenue. I'm just trying to find out what was over there around in the area.
Yeah, but basically wasn't nothing going on, activity going on over there during that time.
So what can you tell me about the Swans when they came out?
The Swans, that's over there. Wow. Deep in the Swans. The Swans really, as I can recall, I think on 83rd and Avalon, I believe. It was a motel that we used to go to, then we had to stop going there because of the Swans, you know, it would become this negative thing. Even though back then, it wasn't no color thing doing this and doing that with us, you know. But it got to the point where we weren't allowed to go over there because we call ourselves Crips and they call themselves Blood. So we was like trying to figure out what it was, and they said it was more like a dope thing, or you trying to come in and sell your drugs in our neighborhood. They wouldn't have nothing like that. That's what they thought was going on.
Let me go back to when you met Raymond at Chambers. Was he more friendly or more of a bully when he trying to recruit you guys?
He was more friendly to me, you know, because he was like, he approached us in a manner, you know, it was like, wow, he carried himself like very
respectful.
Yeah, very respectful, you know. And he hollered at us, you know, he wasn't no big like no aggressive offending at all.
Well, I know he wasn't very tall, but was he muscular?
No, he wasn't really muscular. He was more slim.
Slim? Okay. That's before he went to prison, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Did he express his ideology? I noticed you said you didn't really know what the Crips was about. Did he explain to you what the Crips was meant to be?
Well, that's a question that I have to really ask Nose, because as you were saying, the thing that they talked about, I was into something else at the moment, so he didn't really express anything to me about it.
Okay. Yeah. Did you, at any point, did your neighborhood become militant or Black Panther ideology, or that was done?
It was more black. It was more black then because, you know, we used to go to this thing called Operation Push too, where it was things like with Reverend Jackson and Harry Newton over on 52nd and Compton Avenue. And they was giving us some knowledge on some things that was going on in the community about the blacks, you know. And we took that to heed because, you know, it's like we weren't really able to wear leather jackets. It's like it was a crime for us to wear leather jackets back then. So they put some knowledge to us that, you know, that's why I'm gonna say that the thing where Crips started taking leather jackets from people. That was the main goal of that. Because something that the police don't allow us to wear. I don't know why.
Mm.
I don't know if a lot of people heard about that before or not.
I haven't.
Yeah, that was a thing about the leather jacket back in the day.
But what I did hear, you ever heard of Craig Munson?
Yeah.
Munson says he started that.
About the leather jacket thing?
He used to take people's jackets.
Yeah, that's where it all came from. All of
Yeah.
Yeah, leather jacket was a thing then.
Man, that's a trip.
Yeah, because we weren't allowed to wear them. You know, they made that speech about it, so you couldn't wear a leather jacket. We didn't take them from each other, you know, but outsiders out there, they had to come out of that.
You said that, you mentioned that it was just East Side and West Side.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when Compton Crips came in?
Compton Crips. I moved to Compton when I was 15. And it was basically going on then.
So that's 1972.
Yeah, it was basically starting then. I had a big homeboy, well, he wasn't a big homeboy, but I called him Black Eyes. His name was James. You know, he was from Compton Crips. It was all just Compton Crips then. It wasn't no, they got all the mother, just CC then back then.
Right, CC.
Yeah.
Was you surprised to see Mac Thomas from the East Side now in Compton?
It was, you know what, that was kind of something else like that because it's like, wow, yeah, how did this happen? You know, that was something because somebody else asked me about that.
Just for your personal being, so nobody else can you know, say anything about your experience, but do you think for you, Mac Thomas' name was bigger on the East Side or Compton?
I kind of believe, to myself personally, I believe on the East Side. But then a lot of people are saying they mostly knew him from Compton, but he really from the East Side though.
Right.
You know.
Over near Johnny Ray now somewhere?
Over that way, over back, I want to say back.
Or more Watts like.
More Watts area, yeah.
The Crip meetings. Did your area, you and your homeboys attend the big Crip meetings?
Well, once we did at I think it was called Real Rogers Park there.
Okay, in Watts.
Yeah, over off Century and Western.
Did you guys have any issues with the bounty hunters?
None whatsoever. No, bounty hunter wasn't. No.
Did you go to the Watts festivals?
Many times, plenty of times.
All the time.
All the time.
In the summers.
Every summer we was at the Watts festival. We never missed them.
You guys had any fights up there?
Well, we first got there. We got into it with a gang called who was them? Damn. He was from the back on the other side of the track too. Damn, took my tongue. Who was that? Wow, that thing. Can't come to me right now, but wow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like from River Brothers Park on the backside. It's Bishops, I think it was. Bishops. Yeah, that's what it was. They was Bishops. Yeah.
Those old Lavender boys. Jimmy Lavender, Bobby.
Yeah, exactly. But them boys had some thump though. They can get down.
Mm-hmm.
They was some bad jokers there.
Why you say the Bishops could throw down? Was it
because Jimmy Lavender and them brothers could get down. They was out there swinging them things. They were good at it.
Mm-hmm. What was going on with the Compton Pyrus? Was you into the gangs when the Crips was cool with them?
The Pyrus, you know what? I didn't too much back then. You know, wasn't too much known about the Pyrus then. Okay. Really.
So your politics was more L.A.
L.A.
How about Watts?
Not too much with Watts. Like I said, the only rival we had back then was the Walnuts.
Okay.
You know.
What was the Jordan Down Crips doing back then?
Jordan Down Crips. Wow. wasn't too much movement with them either.
Okay.
It wasn't basically no big thing with a lot of Crips back then.
Right. So basically, as I move forward, kind of when you said it was East Side, West Side, so now you got East Side, West Side, CC, and then little smaller pockets start to come out.
Yeah, the small things started coming, forming in. As later on down the line, as I was moving in age, getting out of things.
Back then, did a lot of guys quit when they started having kids or turn into adults?
It's more like, you know what? Majority did. The majority of them did because, you know, like I said, man, about 74, it was like everything was just, we all went our separate ways, really.
Became different, huh?
Yeah.
And then you got to the point where you guys start saying these youngsters are wild. They
started going, they started going crazy then. Because, I mean, new name, new Crips here, Crip there, with Frontline, Backstreet, and all this, you know. Wasn't none of that when we was doing a thing.
Would you be in a loop of when the actual blood term came out?
Because the first blood thing we know about was downtown L.A., and it was Brams. You know, back then. That's all we knew. You go downtown L.A., it's a gang of Brams down there. What area they from, I had no idea, but I know they downtown L.A.
They had that on lock.
Yeah, that's like that.
Did you know, did you hang around Tookie much?
Wasn't, not much. Because, you know, it's like, I'll say maybe on 2 or 3 occasions we all went to Western Surplus together. Yeah. Yeah,
I asked because I was going to ask you what names were around Tookie that you remember in his group, his crew, or whatever.
Let me see who all I know of that hang with Tookie. I want to say, I don't know what James, what they call James. You got James, I don't know if it's James Swincer, something like that.
All right, if not, ain't no big deal. Just one.
Whoa. I can't even call something.
It's all good. It's all good. Let me just throw a couple names at you. Barefoot Pookie?
Yeah.
Mike Concepcion?
Who?
Michael Concepcion?
Nah.
Melvin Hardy?
Yeah.
Monkey Man?
Nope.
How about Mr. X?
Nope.
Okay. One more. Buddha.
Buddha. I heard of Buddha, but I've heard of Buddha, if it's not the same Buddha.
Did you happen to know of any of Raymond's closest friends? His road dogs?
Goddamn. Michael, I think his last name was Darwin. Michael Darwin. And let me see. What is your boy name? Damn. Kato. I think I just know Michael, because Michael with him, we met him all at the chamber. So Michael, I can't think of the cat name again. Cause about 3 or 4 of them, he's always be with him, his road dogs, I know. Cause I met him at,
Did you guys have any run-ins with the Afton Park Boys?
Yeah, plenty.
What was that about? Because they wasn't Bloods back then. They just...
We used to go swimming up there at Anthony's Park. It was like, what they consider themselves? They're Park Boys, but...
They became Bloods eventually.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, they did. But back then, they were more of a Crip resistor. They didn't want to join. But I was just wondering if they trying to turn y'all to something else, or...
No, we didn't count the last thing. We would count they ran everybody out the park over there.
So because you guys went down with them, they like, y'all can't come over.
It was like something like that.
Okay.
We weren't allowed to go to Anthony's Park.
How about the Denver Lane Boys?
I got a buddy, man. My buddy from Denver Lane. That's my homeboy over there. Mm-hmm. He saved me before, and I saved him many times. Mm-hmm. Charles, I'm hollering at you, man. They call him Booty Lips from Denver Lane.
Did you know Mouse?
Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah.
Know him good?
That was my buddy. That was my buddy Booty Lips boy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't too much hang around there because I got caught because I didn't got time. I used to wear braids, man. They didn't snatch braids out of me. The little blue barrettes on my hair, like, ugh. But they always gave me a pass, so I was just hard-headed, always over there. That's crazy.
The dress style. What type of dress style did you guys have in your area? Was there one?
All things, man, was gray khakis, maybe slingshots, well, little H-deuce caps, you know. Sometimes we got our cane with us, crossing our ear, and croaker sacks of biscuits, you know, for shoes, Tommy Cam hats. Those are our main things. We had saw gray khakis, man, coming, you know, man, that man, he was San Pedro. Everybody would say, you know, it don't really get big, though. You know, like I said, everybody had to go their way, you know, when they had to change that up.
What can you tell me about the 9-8 Main Streets, when they started, or who started them?
9-8 Main Street, I want to put in there Duck, well, what's his name? Randy. Doug, Randy. There's quite a few of them that I can name. They started 9-8. We used to play football against each other right there on 98 to Main.
All right. What year would you say they came out?
It had to be around 70, 73, 74.
After you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear of 8-9 Neighborhood?
8-9? Nah.
Never heard of Neighborhood?
Nope.
Okay. Any historic stuff or any good stories?
I don't know. It's a guy, man, Ricky Silas. That was my ex-coon there. And I don't know if many people heard about him, but his name should have been out there big with Tookie and Raymond and all them. Because he was in there, you know. He was out there in these Walker boys, too. Fred and Guy Walker, you ever heard of them?
Heard Guy Walker.
Them, yeah, see? Yeah, them was some more people I ran with. Him and Fred, you know. And they were some top big names out there. Should have been, you know, more spoken up on, you know. Because, like I said, Guy had a lot of things to do with the East Side Crip thing, too. You know, there's somebody I can say that did Raymond. I had a couple of times with Raymond. We was, me and Ricky Silas met because he had a sister. I used to talk with his sister all the time. And I met Ricky really on the street. We became buddies from there because we went to Compton, you know, me and him was always together at the Compton, you know, doing our thing, whatever. And I think that, I know he used to live right there on 108th in San Pedro, I think it was. But he used to come down there on Wall Street sometime, me and him would go down there, walk up to Green Meadows and stuff, you know, hang out.
What type of guy was he?
He was a bully. Ricky was a bully now. For his size, he wasn't no hell of a big guy or nothing, but for his size, he was a bully. He always got something started. That's one thing. If you wasn't ready to get nothing, you couldn't hang with him.
What set did he climb?
East Side Crip.
Okay, and that's it?
That's it.
Never evolved or nothing?
Yeah, that was it, East Side Crip.
Well, you said his name should be big like Tookie and everybody. Why?
Because he was out there, you know, he did a lot of things for the Crips to hit the community, you know, to come together with the Crips, you know. Anything went down, he was always there, you know, and stuff, you know. He had a lot of people, guys, young guys following behind him and stuff too, you know.
Do you remember his death incident?
I think the police killed him, I believe. I think somebody got it back to him that the police had shot him, I believe. Matter of fact, right there by his house.
Did you guys go show up at his funeral?
I didn't get it. I was in Texas during the time,
okay.
And I didn't get when I came back. I didn't find until I came back to California about maybe a year and a half later.
How often did you go back to Texas?
I would try to go down there every 3 years or so. We give a family reunion. I go back there.
So you guys left a lot of family.
A lot of family.
Yeah,
a lot of family.
Okay, that's cool. What type of hustles was going on back then in your area?
We didn't do nothing really. All things really going on was we were grass cutters. That's all the hustle they had. Because when too much of nothing popping, they wouldn't let nothing happen.
Okay. What was people everybody got high. Was it getting high where you guys were? PCP, angel dust, pills, anything?
You know what, to be real about it, it wasn't really that big then. You know, it wasn't really big at all then.
Okay.
You know, because our thing was really nothing but that Silver Satin with Kool-Aid. That was our thing.
And that's where we got it from.
That Silver Satin Kool-Aid. That was our thing. Because this had a guy, Mad Dog, he from the East Side Crip too. That was my next door neighbor, man, him and my sisters go together.